What is your biggest flex in the bedroom?
Let me think. Any position, I could just sit right there and be a pillow princess. But if I wanted to do something, I could still do that, but I don't gotta do nothing though.
So you just lay there and let him do all the work?
Not all the time.
I feel like you capping. So just call him real quick. Just call him real quick and ask him.
See, I would, but he like, no.
I know it's somebody you could call though.
Let me see. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Pathetic. This is so embarrassing for so many different reasons. You should feel that this question is very inappropriate. And then you're talking about your man is in jail. You're literally living up to every single stereotype imaginable.
What's my biggest flex in the bedroom, if you remember?
What you mean by flex?
Oh my God. Why niggas be so... What do you... Like, what I'm fired? What I'm fired?
You saying you asking me what you fired?
Yes,
She belongs to the streets.
This one in the yellow, literally everything you can see is fake on her. Maybe her body might even be real, but everything else you see, the eyelashes, makeup, hair, nails, just everything. Like this kind of girl here, like if you was to sleep with her in the morning after a shower, she will look like a completely different person, fam. But I can guarantee there's still guys simping after this girl. 100% simping.
Women over 35 have hit the wall. This is true and untrue at the same time, and let me explain why I say this, okay? For my professional expertise, I have worked with hundreds of women, and I have worked with a lot of women over the age of 35. Now, there's a group of those women who have absolutely no issues with dating, no issues with encountering men who want to be with them, who want to commit to them, who want to be serious about them. Then you have another group of women who have a very difficult time with those exact same things. Now, I want y'all to remember that. The thing that young women have on their side is youth. So women in their early 20s, mid 20s, you know what I'm saying? Even like this 20s period, but especially like the early and mid. They are young. They're supple, right? They're impressionable, right? Yeah. They don't have certain baggage that older women have. And because of their youth, and especially because they're attractive, they don't have to be so smart, right? They don't have to have, you know, certain levels of integrity. They don't have to have a high standard of character because they have youth on their side. And all of us as women have gone through this process.
Yeah, you're right. You've all gone through this process of you being in your prime and rejecting guys and really not being nice people to the majority of men. Yeah, you've all gone through this process, and then you all have an epiphany. Once you pass a certain age, maybe about 30, 35, 40, you all have an epiphany of, you know what? I actually have to have a nice personality all the time. I actually have to treat people as human beings all the time. I don't have as many men throwing willy at me to the same capacity as I did when I was in my prime.
Victory has defeated you.
Options start to dry up a little. It's gradual, but it happens.
So if you were to put a woman who is 25 in the same room as a woman who is 35, and these women have a lot of the same things, so maybe the same height, same weight, same physical appearance, you know, so on and so forth. And both of those women have bad character, bad personality. Both of those women are not easy to be with. If a man had to choose, like, hey, I have to choose a woman, he's
going to take the younger one, obviously, yeah, because she's got youth on her side, yeah.
Likely going to choose the younger one. However, let's go back to what I was talking about initially, where I said there are two categories of women over 35. One that has absolutely no issues with men. Men will still marry them. Men still want to be with them. And
no, there is an issue there, because if she's so perfect and she has no issues, there's nothing weird going on with her, that is actually a red flag. There has to be something wrong, because in her time on this planet, she has run into some guy at some point that was willing to commit to her.
Ones who a man would not spit on them if they were on fire. The reason for that is they have bad character. They have a bad personality. They don't have the wisdom. They don't have the intellect. They don't have the things that they should have at their age. They make life hard, not just for themselves, but the people around them. Then we want to add the fact that they are out of their prime. They're out of the typical baby making ages. So yes, women in that category have hit the wall. But the women in the category who know themselves, who take care of themselves, who don't have bad character, who's a pleasure to be around, who don't take nobody's shit, but...
Why is she not married already then? If she's so perfect, why is she not already married and locked down? This doesn't make sense. They all have problems. There's still turbulence there. Why didn't some guy lock them down if they're so good, if they're so great to be around?
Those women over 35 will never have a problem. Men will still gravitate towards them because a man over 35, if he's a high caliber man, he typically doesn't want a younger woman because she does not have the wisdom, she does not have the life experience or the conversation that would even excite him.
Silence, you fool!
No, you're wrong. You're very wrong. Men who are high value men that are older, they're still gonna want a 20-something-year-old woman. They are, bro. That this is cope. Yeah, they may not want a complete airhead bimbo, but they're still going to want a youthful woman.
So ladies, if you're over 35 and you don't want to hit the wall, be a better person.
What are you talking about, you idiot?
Like, if you really want to find a good man, just find someone who's already has a girlfriend and just take him from her. Yes, I know it's wrong. F these bitches, who cares? Y'all treat your man like shit. Y'all make it too easy. Swoop in and be like, I don't mind, I'll take him from you. Shit, you don't appreciate him? Just know, every time you bitch at him, there's a woman just waiting to take your spot. Every time you wake up in a bad mood, there's a bitch out there that would have sucked first thing in the morning.
The truth shall set you free!
What she's saying is kind of correct, but really and truly, she's talking about Chads and Tyrone.
I'm Tyrone.
If you don't treat your Chad or Tyrone right, then she'll come and steal him. And yeah, that is true. Chads and Tyrones have got a plethora of options out there. So, you know, all you women that like Chads and Tyrones, be careful in it because there's other women throwing boxes way. Listen, every time I've been in a relationship, all of a sudden, loads of boxes are thrown my way. Women that I used to deal with start throwing their box my way. It just happens like that. And I think that guys need to have this abundance mindset anyway. You shouldn't be sitting down taking any rubbish, drama, chaos and turbulence from some woman when really and truly you could go and find another one and it wouldn't be that difficult because then it will kind of give you more self-esteem and, you know, you'll be able to set boundaries and be in a position of like authority in your relationship and be the leader. If you have a sense of, oh my God, like I don't want to lose my woman. If I lose my woman, my life's over. Your woman will sense that feeling of weakness you have and then exploit it.
If you want your relationship or marriage to last, I don't think you should sleep together overnight. If you're having sex, you cuddle, great. Then I think that you guys should go to your separate rooms. If you're financially abundant and you have resources galore, then I think separate housing is the most beneficial.
What are you talking about, you idiot?
If you have 2 negative batteries and you put them in a toy, will it turn on? No. Why? Because there's not a polarity charge, right? You need what? A positive and a negative. And then it works. In marriages and or relationships, things get mundane. You get into patterns. When you get home from work, your wife or your lady wants to come home and be like, hey, honey, how's your day? Tell me this, and you're like, what?
First of all, this woman giving all of this weird, silly advice. Are you even married yourself talking about, if you're married, you should sleep in separate rooms or sleep in separate houses? That is absolute nonsense. Well, this is some new age, ridiculous, fake psychology advice. Who are you? And why do you think you're in a position to be giving out advice? Are you married, bro? I doubt it.
Want to come home to silence. I want nothingness. I want to tell you I love you and decompress, right? At night, when you're sleeping together, what happens is over time, your auras, your energy bodies, they start merging.
Oh God, she's talking about auras and energies. This is some new age woman, bro. I believe in the Most High. I don't believe in your auras and energy.
You've slept together for so many years, which awakens the polarity, which what turns most couples into what? Friends.
Wow.